What's up? How you feeling? Everybody gets pregnant because Jay Mohr is legendary. Keith Reza is my guest. Keith, what's up, buddy?
What's up, Jay? Thanks for having me, man.
You know, it's a long time overdue. You've been opening for me for how long? A year?
Almost a year, yeah.
Almost a year.
But not a year straight. It'd be like a couple gigs there, then a couple gigs there.
Well, that's how it is for me also.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I was omitting you from gigs. No, I got to let the other guy open because he's better in bed. Yeah, it's you, Billy Dawes on the East Coast. It's Lawrence DeLoach. And that's it.
Yeah.
Really. We're in San Jose right now. We're in a hotel room, the Fairmont Orchid in San Jose. San Jose is a weird city, I found, because
They don't have coffee.
there's no coffee anywhere. None. Like, these people just run on, Powerade or something. I don't know what's happening. Meth. A lot of meth. And the San Jose Improv is fantastic. But the sidewalk on that street, there's a train that goes down the middle of the sidewalk. And I don't know what stroke of civic engineering genius said, we can thin the herd a little bit. Is just have a train go down where all the drunks are spilling. Because where all the drunks are spilling out of the sidewalks, that's where the freaking train goes.
Yeah.
And nobody gets run over. And I'm the one that almost dies every time. I can't figure it out. Anyway, so Keith, you're, how long have you been doing stand-up comedy?
11 years.
How long have you been doing, I'm sorry to interrupt you. How long have you been doing comedy full-time?
Full-time, probably 3.
So let's mix the difference. So we'll say, if you had to do between the 11 years here and there, the 3 years full-time, how long do you think you've been doing comedy? 4 years, 5 years?
Probably 5, yeah.
Okay. You're really funny.
Oh, thank you.
And you have Asperger's, which is...
It's a form of autism, and it means I just have trouble socializing sometimes, and I'm very, very smart.
Are you smart, or are you just like
I'm very...
I was trying to come up with
I'm a fast thinker.
Autistic savant joke.
Like for example, we were working on a script together, and I came up with that. A lot
of jokes.
Yeah, fast thinking.
And every question I have, forgive my ignorance, because it is. I'm coming from just ignorance, and I'm asking you because I love that you're open about it on stage. And what really drew me to you as a comedian was your joke. Like a fat guy makes jokes about being fat. The greatest to ever do it, in my opinion, is Brad Williams talks about what it's like to be a midget.
Right.
Because that's all you want to know is midget stuff.
Yeah.
So if Brad Williams didn't talk about being a midget, you'd be like, well, what's going on?
Yeah.
You're 3 feet tall. Tell me, what size is your dick? Is it regular, or is it normal size, or is it midget?
I've heard he has a big one.
Yeah, he's a hog. He's one of the all-time greats, and I love you, Brad. But as far as Asperger's go, I got to think, did you wrestle with the idea of talking about it on stage?
For a long time, yeah. I mean, because a lot of people don't know what autism is, and it's also a very taboo subject where people might think I'm making fun of it or making fun of people who have autism and thinking that I don't have it,
I feel, this is how I feel.
Yeah.
I feel that might be part of your trouble socializing.
Yeah.
Because it's all assumption. Because if you have Asperger's and you don't make a meal of it, there's only a couple jokes really about it, and they're great jokes. Nobody can think you're mocking it if you have it and you're telling the audience you have it. You'd be diabolical. You'd be a Bond villain.
Yeah.
If you pretended to have Asperger's just for those 3 jokes that are good.
Yeah, that's what I don't get. But after every single show, this lady last night, she said, "Do you really have Asperger's?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh, you could hardly tell," and it just happens after every single show. And
what does she want you to be banging your fucking forehead with pots and pans because of a low-flying aircraft?
Yeah, and I was like, "Where are the pots and pans?"
How would somebody tell you had Asperger's by doing stand? That's what's hilarious to me. What was her point of reference for Asperger's?
Because I talk about having Asperger's.
So she had no experience with it.
Yeah, and a lot of comedians actually do. Like Tom Arnold has Asperger's.
He's the best.
Yeah.
Tom's one of those guys. He's like a moral compass. If you meet somebody and they shit talk Tom Arnold, you don't have to be friends with that person.
Yeah.
He's just one of those guys. If you shit talk Tom Arnold, I got nothing for you.
Yeah.
You can go fuck yourself.
Sweetest guy in the world.
Because he is the sweetest guy in the world. So was part of not telling the audience about Asperger's, I got to think, maybe part of it in the beginning I'm talking about it's private. It's maybe I don't need to share this. It's private. Embarrassing? Maybe. I'm reaching for straws here. Was part of it like I don't want to admit it? I want to be a great comic independent of my Asperger's?
No, the reason I started talking about what it's like being on the spectrum is because my dream is to be a stand-up comedian, and like I know from a lot of autism support groups I've gone to growing up and stuff, it's very sad in a way because they always talk about their dreams. And I figured instead of talking about my dreams to be a comedian, I'm just going to do it. So I wanted to talk about the struggles of doing my dream with my autism.
That's fascinating. I'm glad you said that. What do you feel holds the people you've seen talking about their dreams and not doing it? What in your opinion has been an overlying thing that's held them back? Not the condition itself.
Not the condition. I think that I think that we all, like as humans, feel protected, and when you have autism and stuff, you might be too relying on the same, like for example, if you eat a cheeseburger every day 6 days in a row, you're tired. You don't want to eat a grilled cheese on the 7th day because you're so used to the cheese.
Your body starts craving it. Like when you eat healthy. Yeah, when you eat healthy, your body craves healthy. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think like that feeling is hard to break the habit. It's breaking the tradition that they're used to. Like it's really hard for Aspies to do that.
It seems self-imposed though.
Yeah.
Is that? I hate to circle back, but again, I'm coming from ignorance. Is that I found with you, look, you're one of my dear friends, and you know I love you, and I know you love me.
I love you so much, I gave you my Eddie Jones cards.
Yeah, that's the greatest, maybe the best gift I've ever gotten.
Really?
Certainly from a comedian.
Yeah.
Keith's favorite basketball player. By the way, this is the most Asperger's thing I've ever known. This is the most autistic fucking obsession ever. Keith's favorite basketball player is Eddie Jones, former Laker, number 25, then number 6. He went to Temple University. And I, by the way, fucking love Eddie Jones. So when Keith told me his all-time favorite basketball player was Eddie Jones, I was like, mine's Allen Iverson. He's like, mine's Eddie Jones. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. And he knows every stat. Like, and then in the green room at the San Jose Improv on Friday night, Keith just goes, I brought all my extra Eddie Jones cards, basketball cards for you, because these are all my extras. Like, there's Lakers, Charlotte Hornets, there's like a team he didn't play for, like he just tried on the shirt at a Best Buy. Him as a fucking Timberwolf or some shit. And I love them.
Yeah.
It's the best gift I've ever gotten from a comedian, ever.
Awesome.
Ever. Like somebody give me a fucking Cadillac, he wouldn't touch those cards. Because those cards would be in the Cadillac.
Yeah.
That was awesome, bro.
Yeah.
I've noticed your self-talk seems to skew towards negative. And negative, not like, fuck that guy, I don't like this person, because you're not that kind of person. More like self-effacing, and I feel like I'm bothering everybody, and I don't want to be a pest.
Yes. I tend to apologize a lot, especially on stuff that's probably not really my fault.
I understand it.
And
it's nothing to do with Asperger's. I think it's childhood.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, your dad died, what? No, your dad left when you were...
Yeah, my dad left, and then...
When you were 2?
Yeah. And then my grandfather died in 2011, so
How old were you there?
I was 24.
So 2, your dad's out, but he's still alive, so he's around. So as you get older, you're like, what's wrong with me that he doesn't want to hang out with me? I'm his son.
Yeah.
That would make me feel a little sheepish. And then at 24, the guy who was your dad, Pops, he dies. And then your dad now kind of snaps into the role of dad after his dad dies.
Yeah.
So I would guess, as a life coach, I wouldn't guess. My summation would be not having a constant man. I know your grandfather Pop was the man. Like he was a constant. But that's weird for any kid. Like, where is everybody? And like they left you. I mean, I know they left the whole thing.
Yeah.
But we only go by ourselves. We're the lead in our own play.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. You know.
Where is he now? Do you have any contact with your dad?
With my biological dad?
Yeah.
I mean, birthdays and Christmas we text. He lives in Wisconsin. He has a wife, and he also has another child who I don't.
That's
really...
got to be crazy. Like
yeah.
It's like a lifetime of what could have been. It's like an alternate reality right in front of you.
Yeah. He supports my comedy because
hold on. It's easy to support comedy when you text on birthdays and Christmas from fucking Wisconsin. He can fucking blow me, first of all. I'm a dad.
I'm just saying, like, he likes, you know, the statuses and retweets the tweets every now and then. So, like, I know he follows me.
That's the bare minimum of parenthood.
Yeah.
And also just being a guy on Twitter.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't want to, like, shade how you feel about the guy.
No, I'm just saying he is supportive to a degree. That's what I'm trying to say.
He's not negative about it.
Yeah, he's not negative about it.
There's a positive. You know what? I said you were negative, and then you're spinning a positive, and I'm fucking taking you to the woodshed over it. I apologize.
Oh, that's fine.
I just think so highly of you that somebody not needing to be around you all the time that is of your DNA confounds me, and I'm sorry.
No. Can I say something about you, though? Like,
no.
Oh.
This is my podcast. You're on the hot... No, of course.
Oh, well, you've always been one of my favorite stand-up comedians. And I'm not just saying this because we're friends, but it's... When I started comedy, and God honest truth, my three favorite comedians were Norm Macdonald, Jeremy Hotz, and Jay Mohr.
It's good company.
And the fact that I've opened and I'm friends with all three of you guys... Like, you guys are such beautiful people, and you especially have really upped my comedy. You mentor me on my jokes, and you make me funnier. And
I don't feel like I really do that much. That's interesting.
Yeah, so
I'm pretty hands off with you.
Yeah,
I don't want you to freak out on me.
No, but
I'm joking.
But I feel you've really upped my comedy, and I just want to say I love you, and I thank you very much for that. Because without your help and guidance, I wouldn't be as funny as I am today.
Well, thanks. I have no memory of actually helping you with any joke ever.
Yeah, with the hooker joke last night.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I did see you last night, because when you say goodnight, it's always been almost like a defeated, like you'd have a really great set. You always have a good set. What's your Twitter and your Instagram or anything?
Keith Reza, Reza.
That's it?
Yeah.
Do you have a website or no?
Oh, KeithReza.com.
And Reza's Riffs is your podcast.
Reza Riffs, but spelled RIFTS.
And I'll put that up on jmohr.com so you guys have a direct link. Last night I noticed after the first show you were super high energy, like, are you guys ready for more show? Let's hear it. Yeah. And that's not like you at all. Because you used to say, and when I say used to, I mean every time I've ever seen you do comedy, including the Melrose Improv, every other city we've ever gone to together, you do have a great set, and you're like, my name's Keith, thanks. Literally. Like, that's an exact impression. I'm a great impressionist, right?
Yeah.
My name's Keith, thanks a lot. I love you. And they're like, is he okay? He was just having a good, what did we do? And last night I said, if you love him, like, maybe show it.
Yeah.
And you were really high energy, and by the time I got on stage at the show, it was a different show. It was great.
Yeah.
So
I wish you would have told me that the first time we worked together so I could,
I always leave so quick. I can't talk to anybody.
Yeah, so...
You texted me last night. Did you leave? And I'm like, when have I not left right away in your lifetime with me?
That's true.
I can't hang out. I get terrible, like, panic. When I walk off stage, I feel like I'm wearing clown shoes, and I'm like 18 feet tall, like, hey! It's like you go from being a god in the sample size you've chosen.
Yeah.
Here is 53 minutes of me the way I want you to see me. Now I'm going to fucking disappear because I'll just ruin it.
Yeah.
Because I'll be in the lobby going, you're pretty cute. You want to come back to my hotel? I'll fuck your husband too. Who cares? Well, so you wanted to pursue your dreams with autism as opposed to the autistic support groups and Asperger's support groups. You see people on the spectrum talking about their dreams and not moving towards them.
Exactly.
because they're stuck in a routine, perhaps. I'm
Yeah.
oversimplifying your answer, but I'll just do it because they're stuck in that routine of talking about their dreams they're not doing.
Yeah, and I wanted to break that routine. I wanted to.
What was the hardest part? Was there a hard part of breaking that routine?
Yeah. Was the stage. I suffered. I think you also told me you, at one time when you started, you suffered from stage fright. I still suffered from stage fright. And,
That's normal, by the way.
Yeah.
Because the number one fear in the world is talking in front of an audience.
Yeah.
And you do it every night.
Yeah.
And the more you do it, the more that'll go away.
Yeah.
But for a guy that is socially
awkward,
and has trouble socializing, and you have a hard time reading people's reactions,
yeah,
I feel like it could also go the way of, well, I can't read the reaction anyway, so fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go up and talk.
Yeah. And that's why I think, you told me to stop asking people how I did, but like I think
I was very mad at you too.
Yeah, because I do ask people how I do because I just want to be funny, and that's part of the reason why, like, I could tell off energy if I do good.
You can hear them laughing.
Yeah.
You know how much time it takes to start the next joke because the laughter hasn't stopped yet.
Yeah.
And I think that's the least Asperger's thing about you, because I was guilty of that, asking people how I did. Like, I would host World of Warcraft and BlizzCon, and it would go great. And I'd go back to my hotel room across the street, and I would go on the internet and just read how I did. And everyone was like, he was on drugs. He was inappropriate the way he touched that minor.
What?
And I was like, what, a guy with like a bulb on his helmet?
Yeah.
And it was like, I was there, and I had to just stop going to social media and seeing how I was doing. I heard Greg Proops on his podcast, Smartest Man in the World, say, if you look up anything about yourself on the internet, you are and you deserve to be everything you read.
That's true.
I was
And
like, wow.
I'm guilty of it too. I mean, I read myself too, and I think that there's a lot of negativity on the internet that I'm trying to stay away from.
You should. And as a high school wrestling coach, I haven't had this talk with my wrestlers yet because I follow all of them on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll spot weird accounts, like with one guy's account was Nig Bigger. Right? And I found out which guy on my team it was.
Yeah.
And I pulled him aside and I go, that shit's got to be done tonight.
Yeah.
Tonight, that's over. Someone's always watching.
Yeah.
College recruiters, a boss, future girlfriend's dad goes, yeah, I know you. You're the white kid who had an account, Nig Bigger.
Yeah.
No bueno, man, malo. But I want to ask my wrestlers, like, what do you get from Instagram? Because the answer is nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Nothing in your phone is right now. Maybe one of the best things I've ever said. Nothing in your phone is now. It's some shit you want to get to or some shit you got to respond to that happened back then.
Right.
When I'm not on my phone for 2 days, I have 56 texts. None of them are really important whatsoever.
And 53 of them are for me.
40.
Yeah.
You know a joke of yours I love, and the one that really got me to go, oh, this guy's like a different breed of cat. This is a great comedian. Was at the Melrose Improv. I don't think you were opening for me. I think it was just maybe a guest spot.
Okay.
And you talked about having Asperger's and being on the autistic spectrum, and you said, I was different from other kids. They were making paper airplanes. I was making paper airports. That joke blew my fucking mind.
Yeah.
That blew my fucking brains out.
Yeah.
And figuratively, It reminded me of an old Norm Macdonald pitch to Bob Newhart. Did I ever tell you this?
No.
He goes, when you pitch to the host, there's an art of the fake pitch because you don't have an idea.
Right.
Or your idea is going to work, but you don't want to give away the jokes in the pitch meeting in front of everybody because then at the table read, no one's going to laugh because you gave the jokes away at the pitch.
Right.
Kevin Nealon and Norm were the best at the fake pitch. Their fake pitches were better than any of my real pitches.
Okay.
So Bob Newhart's sitting there, and Norm goes, I realized people always, they mix up figuratively with literally, You say to a guy like, hey, how'd you like that movie? You took your gal out to the movies? How'd you like that movie? The guy goes, oh, my God, it was so funny. I literally laughed my head off. But his head's like, still on his body, But Bob Newhart sensed something was off, like it was a fake. He knew it somehow. He knew it was bullshit.
Right.
And he goes, I'm not sure I follow. And he goes, like, oh my God, I literally shit my pants when you just scared me, but they didn't, like, they don't have shit in their pants, and they just got scared. And Newhart just goes, I'm sorry. But of course, it's Bob Newhart, the best comedian ever. Yeah. Smartest, erudite, brilliant, dry.
And Norm's trying to outsmart him.
And Norm then catches on that Newhart is fucking with him. He goes, oh, here's another example. Hitler takes Algeria, you know? And you ask all those out, and we're just in awe. Like, this went on for 11 minutes. Yeah. There's 30 other people that haven't pitched yet. Yeah. And so you ask the Algerians, who had probably some Moroccans, how do you feel being occupied by Germany? They go, oh, it's literally the worst thing that ever happened to me. But a week later, they're in a concentration camp going into showers to be killed. So that wasn't literally the worst thing at all. They didn't have the forethought of looking into the future. And Newhart goes, Algerians. I'm really confused. It was like watching Ali versus Frazier. And then eventually, Bob Newhart cracks a smile, and Norm goes, I'll just show it to you. That week, that Saturday, or that Wednesday, I should say, the only sketch Norm handed in was him as Charles Kuralt. He had no fucking sketch with Bob Newhart. And it got on the air. He was in old man makeup, a fat suit, like, I'm Charles Kuralt. From like 60 Minutes, or like he was retiring. Yeah. That was so it was all just bullshit anyway. Newhart fucking sniffed it out.
Yeah. That's very hard because Norm is part of the reason why I laugh so hard when you do impressions of Norm, because you do it spot on, where like that's how he is, and that's the genius of Norm too, you know, and that's what makes I think Norm hysterical. Like Norm,
it's weird to me that people don't find him funny. Like my sisters are like, I don't get it.
Yeah,
I'm like, what are you not getting? Germany took on the world, and it was close.
I mean, I feel this is a bald statement on my part, but I feel Norm's funnier than Pryor, you know?
I think it's a bold statement. Yeah. I don't know how bald it is.
Oh, I thought I said bold.
Funnier than Pryor?
Yeah.
I think you're insane, but I can't. I mean, it's what makes a horse race is we think a different horse is going to win.
Yeah.
Norm, I told you this and you were happy. Do you want me to tell another Norm story?
Sure.
I don't want to take up your time on this podcast.
No, I love you.
I love you too, but I want people to know how funny you are. The best rewrite of all time was at Saturday Night Live. Fred Wolf wrote a sketch where David Spade was selling weight loss formula, like those infomercials, but it was essentially just crystal meth in a shake and a crack pipe. And it's like, I'm going to make you thin. And every time David Spade spoke, the voiceover went, ride the snake, don't let the snake ride you. And he'd go, you got to ride the snake, smoke the pipe, drink the shake, and you'll lose weight in no time. And they always have those outlines of a fat person. It says like in 6 weeks, and the outline gets skinnier. This one said 6 hours, and it's like emaciated. There's like a skeleton on a couch. And there was a pre-film thing in that sketch where Chris Farley goes to a drive-through window and goes, I'll have 7 cheeseburgers, 7 hamburgers, 14 apple pies, 14 large French fries, 7 vanilla milkshakes. I'm paraphrasing. 7 chocolate milkshakes and 4 Cokes. And the guy in the box, the speaker box at the drive-thru goes, will that be all? And in the sketch as it was written, Chris goes, no. I'll also have, for 2 hours, we argued over what to make the second order.
Right.
Does he just repeat? How about he just repeats the exact same order? I would also like, then repeat the same order.
Right.
Or go, I'd also like a Diet Coke. Remove the Cokes, just have a Diet Coke. Make that 11 apple pies. 2 hours.
Right.
Norm's in the writer's room. None of us knew that he walked in there. He's just sitting on the couch at the far end of the writer's room with an unlit cigarette. And he goes, hey, you guys. And we all like jump as soon as he talks because it's like 3:30 in the morning. It's snowing out. We're like, oh, God. He goes, you guys got Chris at that drive-thru window, you know. Go, 2 hours. No. I'd also like, no. Will that be all? No. He goes, hey, you guys got Chris at the window, you know. And he's driving through like, hey, give me all them cheeseburgers, all those fries, and, you know, I don't know what else you got. You know? Then the guy in the box goes, will that be all? And maybe Chris says, yes. When I tell you I was on the carpet from my seat, holding my own body, convulsing, laughing, that's how I was.
Yeah.
We lost our fucking minds.
Yeah.
He was right.
Yeah.
1 syllable, the entire sketch changed. No. I'll also... How about he says, yes. And then when they filmed it, Chris is at the drive-thru window, and because he's dieting, he has this really good feeling of self-assurance and confidence. He's like, "Will that be all?" "Yes." Like it's working. It was fucking amazing. That's my best Norm being a brilliant writer story ever. What do you meet other people with either Asperger's or autism that are like super fired up that you're doing comedy because you represent them, or are they like, what are you doing out there saying you got it and you're not, thinking about your dreams like we are?
I would say I get very good positive responses. A lot of people. Would you call it like the community, like the Asperger, the autism Asperger's community? Well, how would you define it? I will call that just the community with everybody, because everybody knows somebody who has a form of autism.
Yeah.
So I think that's what also makes me, for a guy who doesn't know how to relate to crowds, I think that makes me relatable. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, but it's fascinating to me that you don't know how to relate to crowds because you always do well.
Really?
What do you mean, really? You're there.
Yeah.
You hear the laughs.
Yeah.
I've never said like, "Oh, that was rough, bro," because I would.
Yeah.
You do well every time.
Yeah. Well, I try my best on every single show because...
Of course, you don't know anything else, of course. But are you able in real time, when you're on stage, and I don't know the answer, that's what I'm asking.
Okay.
Are you able to, in the moment, go, wow, this is going fucking great?
Yeah, there's times where...
So then you are reading the audience.
There's times where I feel amazing audience energy. And then there's time where I don't feel amazing.
Well, sometimes they suck.
Yeah.
But do you know?
I love your joke where you say, I've been doing this for 32 years. If the show's not going well, trust me, it's you.
Yeah, I've been doing comedy 32 years. If the show sucks, it's you. And if the show's great, it's me. But if it's like other level, it's us.
Yeah.
So far, so good. Because then it puts the onus on them.
Yeah.
So you have, trouble socializing and reading social interaction, social cues. But when you're on stage,
you're free. I feel free.
That's okay. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
So you're free from the shackles of. Would you call it a disability?
Yeah.
Okay. Of the disability that you have, of not. That's a powerful message, man.
Yeah.
So people that are not pursuing their dreams, whether you have Asperger's, autism, or whether you're just a guy in an office that keeps talking about some shit he wants to do, the more you talk about the shit you want to do, you're not doing it. Here's a guy that just said, Keith said, he's free of his burden when he's pursuing his dream. And I think that's true across the board for all people.
Yeah.
That's amazing, Keith. You hear the audience laughing, right?
Yeah.
And you're aware that whether or not a joke is getting the laugh it did the night before or the show before.
No.
Explain, if you get as much detail as you can, explain the difficulty reading an audience. Because to me, I don't get it.
Okay, so I can hear the laughter and I could feel the energy, but you just asked if I could feel it from one show to the other. The answer is no, because I don't remember how it feels the previous night. So because
you don't remember that it went well?
I remember it went well, but I don't remember that exact same feeling to how no shows match. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, totally.
So
it doesn't match for me.
Yeah. So it feels. There's times where it feels great, and then there's times where it's feels like, I gotta be honest, there's times where the energy just feels so bad that it's like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? Am I even good? And then there's times where I feel great. It's like, how come I'm not doing more? Does that make
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
It does. And I feel the same way.
Yeah.
So you're describing a comedian, not a comedian on the spectrum.
No.
So you know.
Okay.
So my curiosity to get more specific is, what fascinates me about you as a comedian, and I'm beating a dead horse here because I haven't gotten the answer or we haven't hit it the way
I'm sorry.
No.
Maybe if it's just
the way
clear question.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Okay.
It's on me, totally.
Okay.
Trouble socializing. When you do stand-up, that is the purest socializing you can ever do.
Yeah, because you've seen me, when it's you, me, and Billy, I'm the least talkative guy in the group. When it's you and me, I'm pretty talkative. But when it's more than 3 people, I'm very, I was writing a screenplay when you were talking to Joey last night.
But you can hear them laugh. Let me just make it as simple as possible.
Okay.
It's not like you're not on the spectrum where you don't even know if it's going well or not. You obviously know if it's going well.
Yeah, I feel energy. Yes.
And you can leave the stage and go, "That was great."
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I'm getting at.
Okay. Yeah.
So you're socializing problems. You're free on stage.
Yes.
You are able to socialize with strangers on your terms and process that it's going well. But when you leave the stage, that skill becomes elusive.
Yes.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Fucking fascinating, man.
Yeah. That's why stand-up.
I sound like Charlie Sheen, man. It's fucking fascinating, man.
I love Charlie Sheen.
Of course you do. I have Asperger's as well, man. She's a fucking human being, man. Little platoon. So when you get off stage, that's why you ask people how did you do, because you no longer are able to compartmentalize the good. Let me just say this to you emphatically. You're doing great.
Oh, thank you.
You've been doing comedy 3 months.
Yeah.
The guy last night, Joey? No,
his name was Johnny Pena.
Johnny Pena.
Yeah.
He'd been doing comedy 3 years. He was a savage.
Yeah.
He was a fucking cannibal. He killed everybody and ate their bones and blood and marrow. And when I went up on stage, it was crazy how well. You see a lot of accelerated comics lately. It's good. So everybody keeps supporting live comedy. And look, it's been months since I did more stories. The fire was out. I didn't have the light inside me. And I can't do anything if I don't have the passion to do it. And that's another piece of advice I can share with you, Keith, and with people. And I'm talking like Norm again, is if you don't have passion, like, I don't know, don't do it, Go check out Keith Reza. What was the best advice I gave you? I don't remember giving you any, except the one thing I told you last night. You said I helped you so much with your stand-up, but I'm like, I did?
The best advice you ever gave me is...
real quick.
Okay.
Norm Macdonald, Jeremy Hotz, Jay Mohr. The best advice, Norm, Jeremy, and then me gave you.
In what order do you want?
Me last.
Okay.
And then we're going to rank them.
Okay. So Norm, when I worked with Norm used to tell me, he'd be like, so I want you to go up and kill and be as funny as you can. Oh, that sounds like Lovitz. But he's like,
no, you're right.
Be as funny as you can because you're never going to be better than me. And I want you one day to be better than me. So his advice of always going up as best as you can and not taking dead silence as an answer, I felt really helped me develop a lot of good material and time and pursuits.
I feel like it's kind of shitty that the addendum is because you'll never be as good as me,
Yeah.
Because you will be.
Yeah.
Of course you will.
But Norm knows, he's my idol. And then Hotz...
But it actually takes the pressure off. You're never going to be me.
Yeah.
So just go fucking murder it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Great.
And then Hotz, the best advice he ever gave me was if you believe in your jokes and believe in your heart, you know that you're funny, and just do it.
I love that.
I
love that. That's Jeff Cesario said something about that to me once.
Yeah.
Kind of changed my life.
Yeah. Because there's some jokes that didn't, like my black cock joke.
Which one? You didn't expect me to just choose one of your black cock jokes. All you do is sell black cocks in the lobby. But my black cock joke. The one about the guy whose cock is black. He's black also, So, you're black? I don't know a black cock joke.
I've never done the black cock joke for you.
For me? No thanks.
In front?
You've never felt my black cock? No thanks.
Here's my Eddie Jones card.
Oh my God! Yeah, there's one. I gotta post it. There's one. I gotta post it. There's one of Eddie Jones at Temple going up for a rebound, and he has a fucking Magna Light in his shorts. It has its own feeding system. I go, oh my God, Keith, look at that, and we both started cracking up. And then we were trying to take selfies for Jeannie Buss from the Lakers of me and you holding Eddie Jones cards, and it was all blurry. We looked. Forget autistic. We were nuts.
Yeah, we looked crazy.
Just a 50 and a 40-year-old holding up basketball cards.
It was fun though.
It was the best.
Yeah.
That's great advice. And I gave you what advice? Wow. What's the black cock joke?
Okay. So I watch a lot of porn.
It better not be mine.
Okay.
No.
But like when you have Asperger's, you have a great imagination, and when a guy like masturbates, he uses his imagination, thinking he's doing those things to those ladies or guys or whatever you're into. And I have with my Asperger's, I have a great imagination, but I can never watch black porn because I can't imagine I have a huge black cock.
Right. I don't like black porn at all either. Like, I like that cuckold stuff.
Yeah.
Where, like, a guy lets his wife get fucked by other people. I'm like, does it always have to be a black bull?
Yeah.
There's no white bulls out there?
But the joke is I can't watch a black guy.
Yeah, because you can't imagine you have a black cock.
Yeah. That's the joke. So Hodge said, you know what, it's a funny joke, just keep doing it because you know it's
I don't think it's finished, though.
Yeah.
I think there's like a sentence missing at the end, personally, and I agree with him completely.
Yeah.
Jeff Cesario said, because he worked with, and we'll wrap this up in a sec. We'll get to my advice. We'll close with that, I guess.
Well, I wanted to close with one question for you.
Keep that question in mind. Right. Jeff Cesario worked with Russell Brand, George Lopez, me, Queen Latifah, Arsenio. He won Emmys. Dennis Miller, Bill Mohr. And I said, we're all so different, those comedians I just said. Mm-hmm. I said, what's the one thing that strings us all together? Like, if you took Dennis Miller, Bill Mohr, Jay Mohr, Queen Latifah, Bill Bellamy, this guy, that guy, this person, you just open this up like paper dolls, what's the one thing that we're all connected? And he said, your compass. I said, wow. He goes, a comedian's compass is as true as a fucking compass. Yeah. And when that thing hits due north and he says it's funny, it's funny. Close the cockpit door and keep the network away from him. It might not get a laugh, but it's funny, and he was right. You might lose your job, but he was right. You might write articles in Rolling Stone like, could you believe they tried that joke? He was still right.
Yeah.
And 2 nights later, I was doing set list where you don't know what you're going to say on stage. They put something on the wall, and you have to act like it's your set.
And you have to make jokes about that.
Right, and the audience wasn't there to see set list.
Yeah.
They just thought we were all on acid. No one was laughing, and it was 2 nights after he said that. I was just going by the compass, and in real time, I went, oh, wow.
Yeah.
It was, talk about freedom. What's the best advice I gave you? Or do you want the question first?
No, I'll do your advice first.
All right, that black cock joke, maybe like you get a shoe shine kid, and you like buff up your cock real good, like make it look black, that way you get into those.
The best advice you ever gave me was, you said you're a comedian and you shouldn't live in fear when you're on stage. And,
I said that to you?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
And you said that on my podcast, and
I think you got me confused with David Spade.
No.
Again.
No. And so it's nice because like whenever I go on stage, the fear just doesn't get to me because of that advice.
Well, that's good. And that's for life too. Like I say that to the wrestlers too, like before a match.
So you just said you say it to the wrestlers, you don't remember saying it to me?
I only remember I say it to the wrestlers because that's every single day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm in you're getting in their DNA for the rest of their life.
Yeah. Well, I hope you're in my DNA for the rest of my life.
Of course I am.
Yeah.
I
love you.
I'm your Uncle Jay.
Yeah.
I'm your biological father. Because with the wrestlers, like you see a guy across the mat, he's all muscly, and he's a senior, and I'm a sophomore, and it's this, and they're all in their own heads, and you could lose before you even walk out there. And I go, what do you do every day?
Yeah.
Wrestle. So then just do that.
Yeah.
There's no fear. Like, just go fucking wrestle. I don't care if you win or lose. Just show me effort.
Yeah.
Don't have fear, everybody. What's the question you have, sweetie?
Well, the question is because when I was growing up, Jennifer Love Hewitt was my dream girl. And this is going to be an honest question, but is she pretty cool?
Yes.
Yeah.
She's really a sweetheart.
Yeah.
No, never did anything with her. We never fooled around. That's going to be the next question, I know.
No.
Well, it would be everybody else. We got along really well. I had a really easy job on Ghost Whisperer because one episode would be 9 days of filming.
Yeah.
That's a long fucking slog. And that's, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. And I'd only work 2 days. I'd come in like on day 7 like, hey, how we doing, right? I was like the coffee that you can't get in San Jose.
Yeah.
I love a callback. She's a real cutie pie. She's beautiful. Yeah, she's as advertised. She's
awesome.
all of it. She's nothing but great.
That's great to hear, because you hate to hear when you hear like people you loved growing up not be, from word, that they're not that cool.
You know what's weirder? When people say, I watched you growing up, and they're the same age as you. That happens to me a lot lately.
Oh, really?
I really love that movie. When I was growing up, I watched. I'm like, how old are you? They're like 48. I'm like, well, then what? Am I fucking Benjamin Button? Like, how? Listen, Saturday I'm at the Improv. That's the 21st, 8 o'clock. You on that show?
I would love to be
and
that
Billy,
show.
too. So it'll be me, Keith Reza, and Billy Dawes, the Tinder assassin.
All right.
Jesus Christ, that guy hits for power and average.
Yeah.
He's Hank Aaron of Tinder.
Yeah.
That's an 8 o'clock show, Melrose Improv. There's no better Christmas present than just bringing somebody to see me, Keith, and Billy do stand-up comedy. Peoria, Illinois, January 23rd, 24th, and 25th.
Nice. Am I on those shows too?
I don't know yet. That all has to do with travel. Open invitation. Jukebox Comedy Club in Peoria, Illinois, January 23, 24, 25. I'll just leave the plugs at that. And next Mohr Stories will be a solo, most likely, life coaching one. It'll be a quickie. And I appreciate your guys' patience. I just didn't... Here's the other reason, too. Like, I had a spell on the road, like Raleigh, Pittsburgh, there was a bunch, Bridgeport, Connecticut, where there was, like, no audience. Like, it was bad.
Yeah.
Like, if we're just talking real talk, for some weekends you get 30 grand, 20, 22, like an average. And these places I'm getting like 4. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? There's no commercials on the podcast. The only reason I started the podcast was to get more people into the rooms, and they kind of stopped showing up. I'm like, well, then what the fuck? It takes a lot of time and energy.
Yeah.
I was being kind of petty, but I also, the fire was out a little bit because I was beaten down by low attendance. So come see the shows, you creeps.
Yeah, I'm glad I gave you more fire.
You give me fire, man. You fire me up.
Yeah.
I want to see those paper airports, dude.
Let's go make some right now.
I don't know. I want to see the ones you've already made. I like it. I want to know, where's the place to have your dog pee? It's great. Keith, you fascinate me, and we're not done with this conversation. Let's podcast again, okay?
All right. I love you, Jay.
I love you, brother. This is Mohr Stories. Get your gazelle. Put your name on it.